All right, John, first of all, welcome back. I'm sure it's been a long 3 weeks for you. It's been 3 weeks, right? Out in Carson City?
Yeah,
So how's the knee treatment?
good. I went to the doctor again today, and I had a kind of a bad spill with the legislature, and
Oh, did you?
hit one at my house, and knee gave out, and one at the legislature, and I got a shot in the knee today, and I'm happy to get it.
Good.
I tell ya.
Good deal, good deal. So let's just start off with the limitations out there in Carson City, with all the restrictions that we've got going on right now. How has that changed the way things are moving through the legislature as opposed to previous years?
It's awful. It's really bad, and the reason that is because, for anybody who wants to know, we're 6 foot apart.
Absolutely.
I got a tape measure if you want to see it. So you can't hit people in the building, and this makes it totally ridiculous because you got people that have to testify that are experts, that it just runs on trying to get these people in and get people lined out. A lot of people just won't do it. So it's created a real problem. They've got to open up that building, and there's no reason in the world that building should be shut down.
Right. Now, is it? Do you feel like it's affecting the democratic process? I mean, as far as
Yes, it is. It's totally affecting. I tell you what, to get people in there that needs to testify in favor of, and they can't on bills, it is a disaster. And if they don't fix it, it'll be a one-way street.
Right. So that leads directly into my next question. Being being the minority party, what has been the Republicans' approach as a whole? I mean, kind of picking and choosing your battles, or what? How are you guys kind of moving
We're
through
looking at everything we can. I can guarantee you there's going to be a lot of them that's never going to be heard.
Right.
A lot of bills that'll never see the light of day in a committee, and that's bad.
Sure.
We never done that to them. They shouldn't do that to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we did the Conservative Caucus, the Freedom Caucus. They come out and did a press release on how bad it is to have this building shut down. It's like our schools. People say there's no problem, with the kids staying at home. And look at crime. Look at Las Vegas. #1 city in the nation right now for crime for break-ins, robberies, and this kind of stuff is Las Vegas. These kids got nothing to do. They're not in school. They're not learning. And what are they doing? They're out running around, and you can see the problems just going really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, have you had the chance to introduce any bills? Or are you
Not a one yet.
Not a one.
Now we got a couple bills that we signed. I think I have 3 signed, but they have not been referred to any committees. One is voter reform, and I feel strong about that. And our caucus feels strong. If you don't have a fair election, then people don't trust the system.
No, absolutely. For me, it's a no-brainer, right? Like, you have to have ID to do anything, right? I mean, you have to
buy a car, buy a house,
buy
write a check.
cigarettes. Yeah, exactly. To do anything.
Show
but
ID to buy if you look like you're not 21.
Right.
But yet the most important thing in this country is the rights to vote, and it has to be fair, and it can't be fraud.
Right.
My bill is real simple. If you want to vote, you're going to show an ID. You're going to show that you live in that district, and you're going to be registered. Simple as that.
I don't see any problem. I mean, shoot, to be on Little League.
And that's for
All-Stars.
everybody.
Right?
I don't care if you're independent or Republican or Democrat or whatever. I don't care. It's not about what you are. It's make the process. And the other thing I want to try to do is get the IDs, driver's license changed. And the reason that is the driver's license used to be for undocumented workers is straight up and down.
Sure, like a permit.
Yeah, or like a kid.
Right.
Or whatever. Well, they moved them like this, and if you didn't see that line across there, you didn't know what that was. So I think that needs to be changed, and I'm hoping to meet with DMV and see if we can fix this, because it's got to be to where if you go up to vote or you register, you can hand them the ID and they can look and say yes. But unless you're looking, I still think it needs to be to where write-off.
Sure, absolutely. So is that, do you see that, is that in committee right now, or is that?
No, it's, I'm still waiting, oh, no, that bill is out, but it's not, hadn't been, not been referred to committee.
Gotcha, okay. So moving on with some of the other stuff that's going on out there, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are not familiar with this innovation zone that they've been talking about. Explain kind of what's been proposed and what it's going to take for it to actually become a reality, and then your feelings on that.
Well, I don't think anybody should create a county of its own on a personal basis. This guy's a billionaire. He's got the best lobbyists, the best attorneys, and he put in $500,000 into Democratic Party and in certain races. I think that's wrong.
Sure.
I'm hoping that the county that in that origin will vote against it. You know, it's up to them, but
Okay.
I hope they do fix this, but I'm not in favor of this at all.
So for this to actually take the next process, it's got to go to a majority vote, or a 2/3 vote, or a
Two-thirds vote.
Oh, 2/3 vote.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the people after that, or does it got to go through one more time?
Actually, it depends on how they do it. The bill, it could actually be passed.
Oh, they could completely
That's
skip the voting process. Wow. Okay. Well, so gun control, that's always something that the Elko County, has it's near and dear to their heart. We've seen a lot of stuff nationally, executive orders possibly coming down the pipe. Is there anything on the table in the Nevada legislature? Is there anything we need to be concerned about with our gun rights?
Well,
in rural
we
Nevada?
haven't seen their side yet. I've got two Second Amendment bills in.
Okay.
So, and I put one in every session, because the Constitution was written for reasons the way it was, and the First Amendment's already being attacked. If you don't believe me, get on the internet and try to say something like I support my president, and they'll kick you out.
Yeah, exactly.
So the First Amendment is totally under attack.
Absolutely.
You heard Joe Biden, he's coming after ARs and stuff like this. People said they're assault guns. They're not an assault gun.
Right.
If they were brown or made out of wood, would he call it assault rifle?
Right.
So because it looks like an assault gun.
Sure.
And when I talked to the FBI and them guys, they said, all the stuff we've had in the United States, they're semi-automatics. They said they've never run into full automatic weapons.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that.
And the other thing is, you ever seen a concealed weapon holder go out and shoot a bunch of people? Never has.
No.
Because those that do the background check and go to the full FBI background check, which I do, it's, I don't have a problem with that.
Right.
To me, I'd rather have constitutional carry like Idaho and Utah did.
Right.
So, but I don't mind them doing the background check and go out and qualify every 4 years. I don't mind that.
Sure.
That's me, but the only reason I like to do that is it gives me a time to go out and shoot.
Sure. Absolutely. But you should be able to.
That's right. But eventually, they're going to take your rights away. They're going to restrict magazines. They're going to restrict weapons, and they can't do this.
Right.
I hope to God anybody that's out there get behind the NRA and some of these other groups, because they're the only ones out there fighting for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean the First and Second Amendment rights are the first two that this administration's gone after, and it's super disheartening. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me at sometimes. So another issue that's huge up here in northeastern Nevada and rural Nevada as a whole is the mining taxes. Where are we at on that? I mean, I know we saw a lot of it in the special session. How's that process coming along?
Well, it's coming, and it's coming bad, and this could be a disaster. Bad. If they go ahead and change this and accept this, it'll go to the vote of the people, and you know what's going to happen when it hits Las Vegas. You see the school teacher down there saying, I want mining taxes to go to education.
Right.
Go to work.
Sure.
But I tell you what'll happen is if they get this change, they change the net proceeds of mining. That means Elko County will lose every bit of the net proceeds. And guess what? That offsets the cost of school. Eureka County don't get a dime. So So all these rural counties out there that they get net proceeds money, that's gonna go away. When
Right.
that goes away, then guess what? Las Vegas is gonna have to start paying for Elko County schools, Eureka schools, Ely schools, Winnemucca. They're gonna have to start making up for what they're taking. Now they already changed the formula the last session and hurt the rural counties. So what are they gonna do next?
Right.
I mean, they already stole the consolidated tax. What they did was they didn't steal it, they just froze it. That should have come back. Where's that money? It's all in Las Vegas. So, eventually, they're gonna have to do something that, they just can't keep taking. They
Right.
just can't keep taking.
Right. So we've got this has got to go through obviously the legislature and then to the vote of the people. And you think that's going to be the next voting cycle? You think that's going to hit?
That's gonna hit. But it's gonna be on this session, and they already done one, remember?
Right.
On the special session, they'll do one more, and it'll go to the vote of the people. And I'm sure, you're gonna see it's gonna be split between, I'd say 15 counties for positive, but every county in the state of Nevada has some kind of money.
Right.
But you wait and see if they don't amend to make sure that this falls under gold or silver.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're kind of wrapping up close on time here. So when you get back, what's on the schedule? What's your number one priority when you get back to the legislature?
Well, I want to get voter reform in. I want to get my Second Amendment bills in. And the city of Elko's got some great bills and Safe Talk for the schools. So I think I'm going to push on them as hard as I can. And the reason that that's local, it's something that we need really bad.
Right. Just something that's a little kind of touchy is vaccinations that are out there. On the conference call yesterday, somebody tried to corner you. You have your religious beliefs. I have my personal beliefs as far as lack of long-term testing. That's my big deal is the long-term testing. Can you explain the government or what the government has done to make this available to you lawmakers, and what's the overall feeling in the legislature about the vaccines?
Well, I get checked every Monday. They swab me every Monday, and every day I've got to have a temperature test. Every day. If my temperature went up, I'm out of there. So, but some people, I say most of the people are taking the vaccine. Now, the ones that took the first shot now are starting to see what the second shot's doing. There's deaths, there's illnesses. So they're kind of holding off because I think some of them are worried about what that could do. So it's up to them and their individual choice.
Sure, as it should be.
Yeah, that's right. And if you've seen what Israel did, of all the places in the world, Israel has put in, and it's mandatory that you will get the shots or you will not go to sporting events, and all the places that you walk in the door as a free person is going to be restricted, and that's going to go around the world. You wait and see.
That's too bad. I mean, I know that I've heard a couple of local mining companies, have attached it to their health savings accounts and things like that. Once again, that's just infringing on our personal rights. I don't think that's a big deal. So,
well, I have a different belief in a lot of people, and what's in the vaccine is why I won't take it.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. So, kudos to you on your prompt response yesterday. I thought that was deservedly so. So do you have any closing remarks for the rural Nevadans? I mean, what you're doing out there and what we can do for you?
You bet. People just got to get involved. They have to get involved. I tell you what, sitting there and saying they're not doing it right. No, they need to get involved in this new organization that was disapproved by Washington D.C., which was this Freedom Caucus. People say, oh, that's just a conservative, wild movement. No, it's about your rights. And there's Minden just picked up a great group, and this people are really getting organized. And we want to see it go to Elko, to Winnemucca, to Ely, Eureka, all the way down. And what it is to protect your rights, and that is what's so important. People don't understand. Once it's gone, it's gone.
Right.
And the odds of getting it back, if you ever do get it back.
Sure.
and look at the people that died for this country and fought for this country for freedom, and we're turning that head on it.
So as far as us rural Nevadans getting involved, how can we get involved? What would they be able to do?
I'm hoping that Minden, these people in Minden are gonna start, they're getting their chapter going now, and once that gets going, it's gonna go to everyone. I mean, I gotta speak at the women's group in Washoe here next month, and them women are organized. They're really organized, and this is Republican Women Group, and that's what they need to do. And they used to have a women's group here, and they were really good. So this needs to keep going, and they have to get involved. If they don't, then shame on us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, well, so conference call is going to continue to go on every Thursday, 2:45.
Yep.
I know Michelle posts the number often. We'll share the number often. So yeah, anybody that wants to hear what's going on, definitely I would encourage you to get on that call because you guys do a great job. It's you and Senator Gokachia, and then it seems like every week you got some other people that come in to that. So we appreciate you for.
And they brought a lot to the table yesterday. Ira Hansen and it was Greg Haven, me, Pete, and Hansen were in there, and I'm glad that Ira came in and spoke, because I tell you what, it was stuff that they're doing on their side we don't know, and we don't get to talk every day. Pete and I talk every day.
Sure.
So, but not the rest of the senators. So.
Okay. Well, the one thing that I'll just leave this kind of the last question or comment here is I asked the question in the conference call yesterday, and it has to do with transgender athletes. The executive orders came down that's opened up a hornet's nest, I feel like. I would just, if there's anything in the legislature about Nevada blocking that, like some states have already done, I would definitely stay in the loop on that. If there's anything that I can help or we can help.
And I haven't heard of one bill about it yet, not a one. It doesn't mean it's not there,
right.
But we can't track everything. So if you see something, you need to let us know, and that's what the public needs to do. If you see something, let us know. And is it fair to the women?
No, I think it's going to completely, undo everything that Title IX did, back in the 80s or 70s and 80s. And, we've gotten to a point equality-wise that, women athletes are speaking up on pay and things like that. And for us to go backwards, this is a huge step backwards for women's sports. And, you as a father of daughters and myself as a father of daughters, I think it's immorally wrong.
My grandchildren.
Yeah.
It's going to affect them dramatically, and and if somebody what you want to be or do in your life, that's up to you.
Absolutely.
But to make it unfair, if you get somebody that's 200 pounds and versus a young woman that's 98,
right.
Where's the fairness?
Exactly.
So I think they've got to look at this, and I know some states has outlawed it right now, and
right.
And it's not because they believe they're right, they do, but at which point in time is fairness there?
Yeah.
And that's what they can look at.
Absolutely. All right, John. Well, I'll let you get after it. I appreciate your time. I know you're going to go hard work for us back there at the legislature, and thanks for sitting down with us. I hope the knee heals up. Don't take any more spills.
No, I tell you, I thought I'd be up and moving and running by now, but I tried to walk down 3 floors of steps the other day, and boy, it was a stupid thing to do. But it's getting good. It's better, but it's. But I'm still there fighting for the people. I don't care.
Attaboy.
Yeah, even if they cut it off, I'll still be there.
And we appreciate that, John. All right, man. Thank you for your time. I'll let you get back after it, and thanks for supporting rural Nevada as you always have.
Yeah. God bless you guys.
Thank you.